That's another great question.
All the DJs say this one's on its way. Number one.
You think I have something down with science?
Shut up!
You're listening to
From Studio 1A,
The popular podcast Addressing Gettysburg.
Cool.
yes sir.
Grabbed and pulled and hurt my neck.
Addressing Gettysburg today.
There's no time. Hello, exactly.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. It is Friday, May the 27th. And what does that mean to us, Ronnie? That means tomorrow is the big day that everybody's been waiting for. Of course, that's May 28th. And May 28th is our get out of the car tour. I'm sorry, I'm distracted. Why don't you get into her shot there, Mike, so that people can see? Mike is all prepared. Mike is all prepared for tomorrow in case he falls and hits his face on a boulder or something like that. He's got some protection. But that's all we've got so far. We still need some knee pads, elbow pads, and a bulletproof vest if you've got one, just in case. You never know. But thank you very much, Mike. Where'd you get the mic? Where'd you get that? Bill, you brought that, Bill?
I did.
Okay, Bill Etzkorn bringing some safety equipment for Mike, and that's great. That's what we need. We need people to... That's what we do. We look out for each other, right?
All with love.
Wow. That's pretty good. I like that. So Mike's got his... are you going to wear that tomorrow for real? You should in the beginning.
Yeah.
Just as a joke. Just people will get a kick out of it.
Imagine that, me holding the flag with a hockey mask.
Oh, that'd be great. Are you carrying the flag tomorrow?
I can if you want.
Do you want to?
Sure, yeah.
Because so we had a volunteer, but she has to go away or something. Oh no, she got COVID, so she can't come.
Oh.
Yeah. So then now we need another volunteer, and I put out another call, but nobody answered.
It's amazing.
Look, go ahead, Ronnie. Hold on, Eric. You're number 4. And we're back on the other board that I don't know how to use, ladies and gentlemen.
It's amazing. We moved that arm out of the way so that it wouldn't be...
And it's still in my face?
Yeah.
What if I did this?
Yeah.
How about that? Is that better?
Oh.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
you have the monitor.
Yeah, I
Look at
know.
the
I can
monitor.
see it. Well, I don't want to see myself. Who wants to see myself?
You wanted it.
We could blur me out. That'd be great. So anyway, yeah, so we got the tour coming tomorrow. We got a lot of things going on. But the biggest news is that we have a new T-shirt that was released today. It's our Buffalo T-shirt. Buffalo. And then Cam's great line from last week's show. They look like a regular cow, but with more fur. So that is already flying off the shelves, the virtual shelves, if you will, and that's good. That's good because that's the way it needs to go.
I saw you post that, and I have to be honest, I wasn't sure if that was legit. I didn't even take the time to go on the store site to see if it was.
Oh, it's legit.
In fact, accurate.
No, it is, and he
Outsell the Tim Smith shirt.
it might outsell the Tim. I don't think so. But he Cam was. He texted me a screenshot of it, and he said, he goes, "Not funny." And I said, "What do you mean? It's hilarious." And he goes, "Not to me." And I said, "Oh, you want me to take it down?"
Did he say why not?
What do I?
Did he say why not?
Why is your microphone? Why can I not hear you? Speak into that mic.
Did he say why not?
Yeah, I don't understand what's going on here. I'm ready to just give up on all this stuff. It's so annoying. Hold on,
Kill it
Ronnie.
with fire.
I'm gonna kill it with fire. Let's just burn this place to the ground. How about now? Try now.
My question was, did Cam say why it was not funny to him?
Cam did not. He just said it made him cry, and I don't know. I think he might be.
Well, did you tell him he was getting a cut of the proceeds? Maybe that'll change his attitude.
No, why would I tell him that? Because he's not. That's a lie. That's crazy.
It's worth a shot.
No, he did say, "Where are my royalties?" And I was like, "Right here," you know. No, but let's see. Let's get him out of the way because I think he is on the phone right now. Cameron, are you on the phone? Is this you right now? Hey! Hey! Cam, what? Say it again, Cameron.
What? I said I got a bone to pick with you on that shirt.
What? You don't like the shirt, Cam?
It's got a bone to
I
pick.
think you could have got a better quote.
Oh, you don't like it because I could have got a better quote.
Something more profound.
I only work with what you give me, Cameron.
The inference of cows having fur isn't enough.
Is Eric's lights already on red?
What?
Is Eric's lights already red?
No, absolutely not.
Oh, Eric's lights
We just
already
started.
red. We just started,
Why would
Cameron.
they be red already?
All right, so that's it. You wanted to call in and bitch about that, but you don't have much more to say. Is that what you're doing here? Did you just call the giggle? Huh? Okay, Cam. What do you? Anything else you'd like to talk about, Cameron?
Nothing much.
Fair enough.
He only had a week to think about it. I mean, don't rush the man.
Seriously. All right. Well, Kim, I'm going to let you go then if you don't have anything to talk about.
All right, then.
All right. Well, if you decide that you have something to share later on, call in, okay?
All right.
Okay. I'll talk to you later. The great Cam Mallow, ladies and gentlemen. Good God.
Wow. Are you sure that was him?
So-
Because normally you can't get the kid to shut up.
I know.
Yeah.
That was a little weird.
It was odd.
North Dakota is.
It's sapping
something in the
his
air out there.
talking abilities. Poor Cam.
So if he calls in again, I have like the perfect still.
Oh, for
That's
Cam?
good. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, wait, hold on. Let's just pretend that he called in right now. Okay, hold on. No, this will be good. Oops, that's the wrong one.
That's probably not it.
That's
the signal.
Hey!
Oh.
Hey, it's me, Cam. I wanted to say you could have probably picked a better line for me for the T-shirt, something a little bit more
Why
profound.
are you doing this?
Because you're going to do the thing, aren't you?
I can't. I'm just downloading it.
Oh, God damn it.
Tell me when you have it. Tell me when you have it ready. I was vamping. I can't. Mike is wearing for the face mask and reading.
The ORs too, by the way.
He's reading the ORs of all
Reading the
things.
ORs
Yeah.
with a hockey mask.
Oh, don't worry. Here, Cam's called back now. Do you have your still?
Oh God, Jesus, come on.
All right, keep talking, Cam. Go ahead. What do you got? Are you there or are you just listening, Cameron? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm here.
Well, when I say hello, that's when you talk.
Did you start drinking out there?
Are you?
Did you pick up
No.
Did you pick up?
There's not much to do with the buffalo.
Fire water. What's it like?
I think he's playing the audio in the background, trying to listen to both.
Oh,
There's
is
a
that-
delay, Cam. Just turn down your audio
Cameron,
and just talk
turn
on the
down
phone
the
with us.
show. Jesus Christ. Cameron, is that what you're doing? Are you listening to the show in the background?
I got it playing.
Watching Gettysburg and listening to the show at the same time while on the phone with us.
Like 4 o'clock.
No, he's
there?
off on Thursdays and Fridays.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were. Okay.
So there's nothing for him to do except for get in trouble.
And you're off on the weekend?
What?
Insult to injury. You're in North Dakota
Yeah.
and you're off on the weekend.
Yeah.
Where there's nothing to do anyway.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it's Tuesday.
No. Exactly. What do you do? You just listen to the wind whistle through your ears.
Just run around chasing those hairy cows, you know.
Furry
Furry.
cow.
Oh!
You really got nothing to share, so we're going to go, okay?
Bye, Cam.
Hey,
Happy
I have
Memorial
another
Day.
animal sighting.
Another animal sighting. What was this?
Moose.
Oh, a moose.
What do they look like?
Yeah. What, did you try to get the moose to come over to you? Excuse me.
Pardon me.
Pardon me, ma'am. Hi, my name is Cameron, and do you have a moment to talk about the swamp dragons? The what? This is one of those crazy religions. I don't want anything to do with it. No, it's the swamp dragons.
Cam, we miss you, buddy.
Yeah, we do, Cameron. It's not the same having you on the phone.
Don't worry. Don't worry, October. I'll come busting in the door one day.
Yeah, we'll be done by then.
We know.
Yeah. October is a long way away, Cameron, and I really hope that maybe you're having a little fun with the fire water you've been drinking today, but that it's not going to be a big habit and you're not going to come back a big drunk, okay?
No. I haven't been drinking.
No, it sounds like it. Doesn't it sound like he's slurring
I
his
do
words? He's like,
No, I'm not slurring.
I've been drinking. I ain't slurring my words.
That's funny.
Come on, Cameron, you are. What'd you have, a beer?
No, I don't drink. I just got done doing some overtime work.
Okay. All right. Oh, well, there's no audio when Cam's picture is on.
I fixed it.
Okay, good.
I fixed it.
Sorry, we had to reset our computer and everything today. Joe Denise, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Denise is here.
Yeah, thanks, Joe.
This guy, if it weren't for him, we would not have this computer working right now because I was ready to throw it out the window. Eric was ready to just pounce on it. But we got it working again, so everything's okay. Cam thinks it's funny. Cam thinks it's funny that our equipment is failing. I don't think it's funny, Cam. I really don't. All right, Cam, you want to stay on the line just so that you can hear the show, or can you hear it fine over there?
I'm going to be fine over here. I can just call you.
No, thank God. Okay, well, we'll talk to you later then, all right, Cam? So what we're going to do today, Ronnie, what we've got going. First of all, do you hear like distortion when I talk?
Yeah, I'm hearing an echo even.
And there's the echo. Yeah, there's something not right with this whole thing. God help me. Why can't just $2 million fall into my lap? Just that's all I need. Bill?
I'm trying.
Okay, thank you. we don't have to deal with this if I had just the money to get the right stuff. All right, so tour tomorrow. Don't forget the tour, but we'll get into that later. Our guests this evening are Darin and Mare from the Civil War Breakfast Club. A lot of people have heard of them. A lot of our listeners listen to their show. And I say to them, why? Why do you do that? Why do you listen to their And they say, well, I like it. And I go, why? Why? Am I not enough for you? Am I not enough? And they say no. And I don't blame them. So we're going to take a break, and we'll come back. I'll see if I can figure out what this distortion is. But in the meantime, enjoy the commercials, and we'll be back with Darin and Mare in 2 Shakes of a Lamb's Tail. And we'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.
Want to be on the show? Send an email to info@addressinggettysburg.com. Be sure to include the reason why you think you'd make a good guest when you write us.
When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah. We'll give him a hearty welcome then, hurrah.
Very family friendly. We had a wonderful time with our son.
Me and my friends were able to rent these bikes and go at our own pace, so we were able to just do what we wanted to do when we wanted to do it, and I highly recommend it to anybody else.
Seemed like the right way to go to view the wonderful sights and also get an incredible amount of history from Bob.
Our tour guide Bruce was so knowledgeable about the facts and the history of these battlefields that I came away with an understanding that was unmatched by any other means.
The breeze on the battlefield.
Put that on a t-shirt. Holy hell.
Great trip, lots of history, wonderful bike ride, perfect weather. Could have asked for a nicer day. Highly recommend it.
If you're going to tour Gettysburg, I would recommend doing it on the bike. It's a lot of fun.
I loved it. It was awesome.
We really couldn't stump the professor with any of our questions, so
we thought it was really well worth it.
It was an excellent day out and got you outside and experienced the weather. Beautiful weather out here today.
We had a lot of fun. If you're thinking about it, I'd just say give it a shot. It was awesome for us. I hope it's awesome for you guys too.
Go to gettysbike.com or call 717-752-7752 to book a battlefield experience you will never forget.
You've heard us promote various ways that you can help us keep the show going, but one way we haven't pushed too much is our sutlery at addressinggettysburg.com/shop. That's a shame because we have designs over there by talented artists like Ty DeWitt of 1863 Designs and Mike Stretch of the Heritage Depot. So now we're promoting it. Buying shirts, hoodies, mugs, and other items from our sutlery not only helps us keep the lights on, but it also helps guys like Ty and Mike, and it helps spread the word about the show every time you wear an item or you sip from your mug. So head over to addressinggettysburg.com/shop and grab some merch. It's the perfect Christmas gift for the Gettys nerd in your family. That's addressinggettysburg.com/shop.
All I need to do is
Have you noticed our revamped website at addressinggettysburg.com? Well, that's the fine work of a man named Mike Stretch, and he also redid our logo for us. Both of them I originally designed, and both of them were originally horrible, but now they're nice, and that's all thanks to Mike. And Mike has an awesome t-shirt company called Heritage Depot. There you'll find great designs based on Gettysburg and the Civil War with t-shirts and other types of merchandise. So go to heritage-depot.com and spruce up your Gettys Nerd wardrobe. That's heritage-depot.com. Our favorite bookstore in Gettysburg is For the Historian, located at 42 York Street. It's because they have the best selection of Civil War books in Gettysburg, both new and used. And online, they have even more to choose from. And if the Civil War isn't your thing, that's not a problem. This is For the Historian, after all. They cover history from the ancient world to the 21st century with a strong selection of World War II and American Revolution books. It's astounding how many thousands of titles from Osprey, Savas Beatty, UNC Press, and more they have in their store. And that's because, well, they have a warehouse too. And that's where they keep all the books that are available online at forthehistorian.com. And folks, if you go to forthehistorian.com now and order books until you're blue in the face, be sure you mention that you heard about them on Addressing Gettysburg in the Note to Seller box, and they will refund your shipping costs. And if you prefer to stop by when you're in town, well, you could do that too. Just mention Addressing Gettysburg at checkout, and they'll take 20% off the retail price of your item. So go to forthehistorian.com or stop by 42 York Street, or you can call them at 717-685-5207. That's forthehistorian.com or 717-685-5207.
From the patriots of Bunker Hill to those who embarked upon the Great Crusade at Normandy. From the blue-clad Federals at Gettysburg who gave the last full measure of devotion, to the many thousands who did the same at places like Belleau Wood, Chosin, Yadrong, and Fallujah. The American warrior is the greatest warrior the world has ever known, who, through sacrifice and dedication to the nation they served, have composed a history worthy of being remembered. Join me, Colby Sumner, to hear their story and to connect our current and future American warriors to those of our past on America, Fog of War.
You're listening to
You're listening to the man who is adored by his haters and just tolerated by his fans. Here's Matt on Addressing Gettysburg Today.
Okay. Just barely hear it, but okay. All right, now I can hear it. Okay, good. All right, so we're sitting here with Darin and Mare from the Civil War Breakfast Club. Hello, guys. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Welcome
Yeah,
back,
thank you.
I should say, because didn't we had you on when you first started?
Yeah, after our second episode.
Yeah, and that was very early on. And did you? Hopefully, people listened.
Yeah, we're at 85 episodes now, I think.
Yeah,
Like that.
yeah, and it's going well, right?
It is. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's rewarding. And
It is a lot of work. Is it rewarding?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know about that, but
Well,
okay.
someone bought us a free beer
the other night, so there we go.
Yeah, we all had,
Yeah.
we had a lot of drinks last night. So.
Free beer is always good, and no, it's true. Like, it is rewarding in that way. You meet people, and they bring you gifts. In fact, somebody just stopped by, Robert Dalby, and he brought this gift, which I should show because it's very nice of him to do. It's just the blown up from the 1853 or 1858 Adams County map, but it's Gettysburg. So we're going to find a place for that here in the studio. But anyway, yeah, so it is rewarding in that regard. People give you stuff.
It's about learning, because we do all, we do Eastern Theater, Western Theater, all the Civil War.
Yeah.
We cover all those battles, and even the little ones like, Battle of Chantilly.
Right.
Which is right after Second Manassas. And you see how each battle flows into the other.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Nothing happens in a vacuum.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Now, you're known, Mare, for being an Oliver Howard freak.
Yep.
Possibly the only one in the history of the United States.
Probably, yeah.
I don't even think his wife liked him this much.
Yeah.
Was he married?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had like 8
to
kids,
Elizabeth.
so she
Yeah,
must have liked
yeah,
them a
they
little
had
bit.
Yeah, they were clearly into each other.
Yeah. And what is it that you like about him so much?
I think it's because he's so just this underdog in the Civil War that deserves so much more respect than what he gets. I mean, after Gettysburg, he goes on to the Western Theater. He's on the March to the Sea with Sherman. He's put in command at Columbia when Sherman gets there. He's part of the Freedmen's Bureau, and he goes on to, he's got stuff out in the West as well. But he's this guy that just kind of gets this bad rap for Chancellorsville,
Yeah.
of all things.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I got into him because of Darin.
Oh, Darin.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you're a Howard guy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Howard's one of those interesting fellas because he's somebody that historic memory has really run through the mud. And that's
Yeah.
the thing is if you look back at his contemporaries, I mean, yeah, Joe Hooker said he was a woman in the troops and he should have wore a petticoat instead of a blue coat. But notwithstanding, he didn't like him too much because it probably cost him his job. But he's somebody who, as time goes on, I mean, don't forget, he's one of only 3 generals that the United States Congress in 1864 named as the people who won this battle at Gettysburg with
Yeah.
Joe Hooker and George Meade and Oliver Otis Howard. So he's somebody who, he's a good redemption story. He's one of those guys, a classic change teams type of guy. He went out west, did a lot better. But yeah, he's somebody who, he's a solid New Englander. He found religion somewhere along the way. And
Yeah.
he's certainly somebody who, I think the positives outweigh the negatives. But again, he's one of those guys, he's like Dan Sickles. You either love him or you don't.
Yeah.
He's just one of those guys.
Or you don't think of him at all.
Yeah,
Which I don't
exactly.
really think of him at all.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like it's easy to study, and not to put down somebody like Hancock or Chamberlain. It's easy to study them. Everybody knows their story. But
Right.
if you study a Sickles or a Howard, it's a lot harder. You have to fight a little bit more
Sure.
for them, and
Sure.
that's the great thing about it. That's what I love about it. And on the podcast, he and I both love to talk about the ones that they don't have that voice in history.
Sure, right, yeah. The lesser known guys.
Yep.
They're often more interesting anyway.
Yeah.
And then Howard started Howard University.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, not a bad guy.
No, exactly. He's
Nobody ever makes the case he was a bad guy. Then he was just kind of a...
He's just this underdog, I think, in the Civil War. He's not a Chamberlain. He didn't, you had to kind of advocate for yourself. And the one funny thing I found in reading his memoirs, I shouldn't say it's funny, but he never mentions Chamberlain when he talks about Gettysburg. Not once.
Well, why would he?
He
Because they're
just-
both from Maine?
He never mentioned Chamberlain because he didn't like Chamberlain because Chamberlain talked about how glorious war was, and Howard always said, you can't glorify war.
Yeah.
Talk about Moses Lakeman, talk about Elijah Walker, talk about pretty much anybody who's ever come out of the state of Maine.
Except
but not
for
the guy, not
Chamberlain.
the guy with the mustache. It's funny. He left him out of the equation. So the thing about Howard, for his memoirs, if he didn't like you, he didn't talk about you.
Right.
He didn't bash you.
Okay, well, that's a good way to be it.
That's probably a good attitude. You know?
Yeah, I mean, that's better than saying nasty stuff and starting a big war.
Like
of
saying he's a
words,
woman
you know?
in the troops.
Yeah. Yeah. So so Mare, so Darin gets you into Howard, and then you go, my God, there's something to this guy, and you become obsessed with him and everything like that. Do you ever hear from the listeners, and do they say enough with the frickin' Howard already?
Sometimes they do. It's
Yeah.
become kind of an inside joke with our listeners, but we've heard. Like last night, we were hanging out with some of our friends, and one guy said, I didn't know what he did after Gettysburg until your podcast.
Okay.
I didn't know he'd been out in the Western Theater, and we've heard that before. Like, we didn't know he'd been out in the Western
So it
Theater.
worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, having a, because I hear from the listeners, like, they just say enough, and they don't get specific. They just say enough. So at least with you, they're like enough with Howard. But with me, they're just like, enough. Just stop it. What, Veronica?
No, I was just saying, even after the war, right? He was very instrumental in Reconstruction with the Freedmen's Bureau and everything, and
Morgan
kind of
Freeman's
like a
Bureau.
true believer, really, if I understand that correctly. I mean, he really wasn't just doing a job. He was.
Oh yeah.
He was. I would categorize him as an abolitionist during, especially near the end of the Civil War. He was raised with an African American boy.
Oh wow.
From the age of 4.
Oh, I did not
So
know that.
he never. Like, he always saw them as equals, and he tells this story in his memoirs of where someone broke a plate over his head at West Point and said it was just a random fight. But the story was that, what was it, he got in a fight?
Well, he overheard 2 cadets from the South talking about how, we shoot African Americans like we shoot cattle in the South, and he didn't like that, so he mouthed off and got his butt slapped around, and he ended up in the infirmary, and who went to come pay a visit to him was Robert E. Lee, who was there at the time. And so he had that abolitionist background going way back.
Okay.
I mean, he's part of the old blue bloods of New England, and that's kind of what it was.
Sure.
Maine, ironically, is not a big abolitionist state. Never was. They were more of a, solid states. They didn't want secession, but they didn't care really overall about slavery. So
Right.
he was kind of an outlier in that regard.
Okay. And then, so how about you, Darin? You got her into Howard, but did you have a guy that you really like to learn about?
I've always been a Charles Tilden guy. 16th Maine.
Why is that?
But you know why? Because no one knows about him.
Okay.
He is somebody who is a classic fell between the cracks guy. This is a guy who took, a very small amount of soldiers, 275 guys up to Oak Ridge, had to hold off, Daniel and Ramsey and O'Neill, and Iverson and O'Dole's, to give John Cleveland Robinson time to escape. He escapes, he gets back, he gets caught, he goes to Libby, he escapes, comes back, fights at Petersburg, gets caught again, escapes again, right? Only 38 guys made it back from that salient, and he's somebody who is absolutely is deserving of the Medal of Honor, but no one knows who he is. And he's somebody who is, we've always said that 16 is greater than 20. That's what I've always believed.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
There you go.
And so, nothing against the guy with the mustache. Okay.
Yeah.
But I think when you remember those 38 guys who survived, what did they do the next day? They went to Round Top to fight with Chamberlain. But no one knows the 16th. And so I've always been, who is this guy? And you read about him and you go, why do not more people know about him? And so he's been my binky. Put it that way.
Okay, you're binky.
That's his binky.
So what do you guys? You did an event last night, and you got to mix with your people. And how did that go? Did they get asked for autographs and things like that? Or,
well, it was paparazzi and like,
I know. Believe me, I know it's tough.
No, but it was great. It was good to talk the stories, and ironically, it was about Maine at Gettysburg.
Yep.
So we talked about a lot of the different regiments over at the Garryon, and it went very, very well.
I watched a little bit of it, but I was at that graduation, so I couldn't watch a lot because people were like, "What is that? Stop! To turn that off!" So. But I watched enough, to just get a sense of what you were talking about, and you were talking about Howard.
Oh yeah. That was like Captain Obvious going into it. Yeah, like of course I'm gonna.
Structure.
Yeah. Of course I'm gonna talk Howard.
Yeah. Well, and that's good. So, but do you like doing that, like getting out and meeting people and everything? Because some people that do podcasting. They're not really people persons, They're kind of just introverted, and they'd like to just stay in their little studio or whatever and do their thing.
We're both extroverts, but it is still weird to be recognized.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we got recognized at Manassas, and I was like, oh my God, really?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like we love talking to our listeners, hanging out with them, and all that. Like it's fun. It's a way to connect, and you learn from each other too when you're talking to them.
Sure, you have to. You have to get in touch with them and hear what they're saying, because then you'll stagnate, because you'll think, oh, everything I'm doing is great, and I'm just going to keep doing it the same way.
Yeah.
And then you hear from people, and then you go, oh, maybe I can tweak this and tweak that. And do you find that the audiences, the Civil War audience, like for these types of things, for podcasts and stuff, they're kind of cool, right? They're like, they're fun, they're nice, they're helpful, they're supportive.
Yep.
It's not like, but then I hear like, people I know who are historians, and people are sniping at the other historians, snipe at them, and lesser, smaller people, I should say, can't handle somebody else's success. But in like this little world, like you kind of, we have you on the show, and we have you on the show before people even know who you are, and that's what you do, right? Like you kind of like support each other and everything until the bottom rail's on top, and then you're like, fuck those guys.
Yeah, it's I mean, our listeners have been really supportive, and I mean, it's great to collaborate with you guys, and we had Jim Hessler on to talk about sickles.
Yeah, well, who else are you going to get for that?
And that was a great episode. That was so...
Although you should get Tim Smith on to talk about sickles.
No, we want to get Timmy on to talk about mead, right?
Yeah, mead or...
I would think we get him and Gelzo on at the same time and just sit back and let them go.
Oh, that'd be good. If Gelzo would do it.
Oh, God.
I don't think he would.
He's washing his hair.
Yeah. No, I can't. I'm washing my hair that night. Well, so...
I have a question.
Yeah, go.
The way back to the beginning, how does a Canadian and a Northeastern
great question.
U.S. citizen, like how do you guys find each other and find that you have the similar passion and decide to do a podcast about it?
Great question, Ronnie.
We were part of a Western Theater Civil War roundtable, and that's how we met.
Wow.
Was on there.
We did that for a while, and we would talk just casually about Civil War stuff, and like you do, just like barroom conversation. And then one day she asked me to do a podcast, and at first I said no.
Yep. You said no.
I said I'm too busy, but then she was persistent. She tried again. Said, all right, we'll give it a shot. We'll see how it was, because it gives you a reason. What's great about it is it gives you a reason to study and brush up on the stuff you think you know. Yeah. And focus on things that you don't really know.
Yeah.
And what's cool about it is you really get to bring the people alive again when you talk about them.
Yeah.
We're very similar almost every single way in that regard.
So was this pre-pandemic or during the pandemic?
During the pandemic.
Right.
We met during the pandemic.
That's really cool, because I was going to ask, again, how do you physically connect like that? But
Mm-hmm.
there were a lot of the similar scenarios
during
with
pandemic.
just in Gettysburg, like, right? You have the Zoom meetings and this and that, and book clubs and live streams.
Yeah, that's it was all virtual, and I mean we didn't meet in person until November the 8th, 2021, which is ironically Oliver Otis Howard's birthday.
Is that a coincidence or?
No, that was when the Canadian border finally opened.
Oh, okay, neat.
What's great about the podcast, this one, all the others are a lot of good ones. It gave people an escape during this pandemic.
Yes,
and that was the cool thing about it is people would talk about it. We do these online roundtables like you guys do. And people would come on and be like, oh, it's so cool you're doing this, because it gives, I have no one in my life to talk about the Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like, one of us. And so when you do these things and you really want to foster that bar type conversation, you can't have anybody's opinion be an outlier. Everyone's opinion is acceptable, whether you agree with it or not.
Right.
And then if you do happen to meet somebody, like you had mentioned, Matt, you got to be cool with them, because that's the promotion that we try to be as genuine as you can. You certainly can't go out and try to, big league somebody.
No. Some people do that, and it's very unbecoming.
Yeah.
But there are people that like that. Like there are listeners that like that type of attitude, and they think it's great that somebody does. I don't like that at all. I think because we're not really anybody special.
That's the thing. It's like what more outer than it really is. I mean, we don't, and that's what's cool about it. Is what's great about the Civil War is anybody can do it if you're willing to put the time in.
Sure,
it's something that it's all the books are there. There's a lot of gray areas, a lot of things that haven't been written about, and you do have to fill in those gaps sometimes with what you think is right or what you hope is right. But it gets people thinking. No one knows everything, right?
Well, Tim Smith knows everything.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
But the only things you know is Fort Sumter was fired upon, and Lee surrendered at Appomattox. Everything else is up to subject.
Yeah.
You can make a debate for everything.
Yeah.
All the what ifs, and that's what's great about it. It's made for barroom conversation.
It is, and that's so. Do people say that to you, that your show reminds them of just people sitting around a bar? Yeah, that's what we hear too. And I like that because I think the presentation style is a little too stuffy and too academic feeling. So you want to, and we're not academics. Like I'm not a professor. Weren't you a stand-up comedian before that?
Back in the day.
Yeah.
You have a good memory.
Yeah, well, I pay attention when people talk. Well, not everybody. When Ronnie talks, I zone out during the news, but
true story.
But I pay attention when I talk to somebody just once, like I did with you at that time. But So how long did you do that for?
A couple of years, just finished college and doing stuff like that.
So it was after college,
right? So
or during college?
It was during college because there was some of the classes you took were that, and you could go and take electives and go into Boston do stand-up stuff, and that was fun. That was a good time.
And see, that's terrifying to me.
I went to college with Amy Poehler.
Oh, yeah, I know her.
Who's not that funny, by the way.
Thank you. I never understood. Even when she was Leslie Knope, she was the least funny character.
And I saw her not too long ago, and it was good to see her again. But out of anybody in that little group we were in, if someone said who's going to make it, no one was picking her.
Yeah. What did she have to do? Did she big league you or?
No, she was cool.
She was like,
cool.
Darin, I love the Civil War Breakfast Club.
No, this is way before that. No, it's way before that.
Okay.
But that's what's cool about it is the barroom conversation, the banter. And sometimes, to your point, Matt, people do take themselves too seriously with this, and they think they know more than they really, really do. No, if you start pushing the superlatives around, this guy did this is the best, this guy's the worst, that's when you get in trouble.
Yes. Oh, yeah, anything definitive. Yeah, don't get distracted by Mike. This is how he plays along with hand gestures. So don't let him distract you.
They got the hockey mask and probably has a machete back there. I'm not being distracted.
He's not allowed to play with machete.
I wish I had taken a picture of you reading with the hockey mask.
Yeah, that wasn't scary at all.
It wasn't scary at all. No, it's true. It wasn't. It was terrifying. That's what it was.
Children's Museum this weekend.
So, are you going to go to the Children's Museum this weekend when Eric's doing his BDSM leather stuff and wear that mask? Be frightening everybody.
I'll be in Veronica's news next week.
Local man gets arrested.
Chick-fil-A employee gets arrested scaring children with hockey masks. Oh, God. Oh, Mike. Okay, so so barroom, right. So have you, what's some of the negative stuff you hear? I always like the negative stuff.
The negative stuff, I guess I do get some stuff back.
Pretty
on
nasty.
Howard.
You do.
Oh,
I
Howard.
take it, for some reason, I don't know, I seem to get more than he does over it. We didn't.
It seems to be
your genitalia would be part of that, to be honest.
Yeah, honestly,
we
when are you showing your genitalia? What episode is that? I'm going to look it up here. Hold on.
I thought you was talking to me. I thought you was on my last night. It's the last time I drank tequila.
Jesus.
Is it? Oh, because you're a girl and you can't talk about history?
Yeah, we did an episode about Second Kernstown, which is where Jackson got totally pantsed.
Yeah.
And I said that in a tweet, and some guy came back to me and he was like, "You can't talk about Jackson that way." And he comes into it to try and get the guy to get off of me over it, and he wouldn't respond to him at all.
He wouldn't respond to Darin?
He just kept going at me.
And what did he say? You can't say that because
you can't say that about Jackson. You can't, Stonewall didn't lose a battle. And I'm like, he lost.
What is this guy
He got totally, was it Kimball who pantsed him?
She gets mansplained a lot.
I do, I get mansplained. He made a meme for it.
Did you really?
Yeah, he made a meme.
In case the women don't know, mansplaining is one of
Bill, that was good. I like that.
I see memes too.
I remember a long time ago, a
Hold on,
licensed
Bill has
battlefield
to get
guy.
a Dan Butterfield for that one.
Dan,
Okay, go ahead.
Butterfield.
Pick something for free, Bill. Here.
Something I already brought.
Piece of paper? Something you brought already? Go ahead,
Give him
Ronnie.
a couple of the USB
No, I
extensions.
remember. I believe it was on Facebook. I mean, I'm going back a long time ago, several months ago, and the licensed battlefield guide is no longer on this earth, and I'm not going to say his name.
I know what you're talking about.
But
Went at me for Howard.
And I mean, I don't think I'm much exaggerating when I say he basically was like, "You don't know what you're talking about, little girl."
That's exactly what
I mean,
he was like.
it was crazy, and it was this
when was
big,
this?
Oh, months ago.
God, about what was that? Like 2 years ago, right?
Okay, yeah, it was a long time. I lose track of time,
I
but
had
I
people
couldn't
coming
believe
to
it.
my defense, and
Yeah.
I was like, and I had other battlefield
I think I
guys
know who this is.
messaging me saying, just he's not who we are, blah blah blah, and I was like, I couldn't believe what he was saying to me for over Howard. I'm like, woo, dude, like.
And it was not even veiled, like his hatred or whatever, his upset was based a lot on the fact that you're a woman. And it was like, and I'm not exaggerating. Like, in my mind, I have a recollection of something along the lines of like, you know, you don't know what you're talking about, little girl. Like this kind of, you'll never know. Like I have all this experience and I'm a man and
I know who you're talking about now, and he went in. He threatened to shove the Blades podcast mic up his ass. So I know.
Yeah, I think he went at Darin once too.
Carolina right now in the playoffs.
Yeah, I know who that is, and he seemed to be quite confrontational online.
Oh, he was. All I said was one thing, and he just was. I was like, what?
But that's his case in point about, I think it wasn't targeted about you. Nobody was attacking you about being wrong.
Right, it was about being a girl.
It was like, how dare you have an opinion?
Yeah.
I mean, what are your qualifications?
Yeah, it's like pat on the head, get back in the kitchen kind of thing. That's how it felt.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe just being on the outside watching that.
It is amazing that people would put that in writing on social media.
Yeah.
Like, do you really
And it
not
wasn't
think
a
people
private thing. I mean, if I could
Right.
see it, I don't even remember what kind of, maybe Gettysburg, some kind of group.
It was some
forum or
Gettysburg group.
something.
It was completely just. I just said, I'm like, Howard needs more credit or something, and he just came at me, and I'm like,
He was like, what do you know, little girl?
I'm like, okay.
You don't know anything.
Have you not been paying attention to Bill's Facebook page lately?
Oh yeah, what happened?
I got mansplained in proxy.
After the next break, after this, I want to get to that. Okay, don't forget. Don't remind me. Okay. Yeah. So, do you get that a lot though?
We do. I think over Howard, we get some crap over that. Our most controversial episode, though, was about McClellan and Lincoln.
Okay.
Just because we went back and we looked at the historical record and we said that, you know what, like, McClellan is not completely to blame for what happened after Antietam. And here's why. And we took some crap for that. Like, it was...
Because you said Lincoln had something to do with it too?
Yeah, we just said...
What were your points?
We said, like, you have to look at the situation of the AOP after Antietam. George Gordon Meade is writing his wife and saying, we don't have the supplies. Other soldiers are writing that in their diaries. We don't have the supplies.
Yeah.
And we went back to what happened to him during the Peninsula.
Well,
as well.
There was a lot of it. I mean, the big point was he had to wait a couple of weeks to get the supplies. This is from Washington to Antietam. Eitz-Corn could roller skate backwards in that distance, okay? And it takes 2 weeks to get the supplies there, okay?
Yeah.
So if you're McClellan, do you want to go into Virginia heading into the wintertime with no supplies, no ability to get supplies? And so he waited. And so he got away, and it goes from there. But we got hit for that pretty good.
Yep.
We were reading, George Meade wrote letters about it, the same deal. We just point out the facts.
Yeah.
You can't say that McClellan's this.
It's so weird. Because we had, what was it, Corey Farr on to talk about his book, Long Street at Gettysburg, A Critical Reassessment. And somebody commented on on YouTube, there's a lot of blue-belliedness in this episode.
Indeed.
And I was like, we're defending Longstreet. Like, we're giving him, like, the benefit of the doubt. We're giving him a fair treatment. How is that blue-belliedness?
But the Lost Causers hate Longstreet.
Oh,
They
right.
hate him because he knows this one trick.
Yeah. Yeah. Confederates hate James Longstreet because he knows this one weird trick, this obscure trick. And do you ever get to the end of those videos and they never tell you what the trick is?
I never click on them.
Well,
I just know better.
Do it once when you have like a half hour to spare. They never tell you what it is. Remember in Schitt's Creek when Moira's friend sends her the package from Allez-vous and they're watching the video and she never gets to the point?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's what they do for a half an hour in those videos.
I'm sure.
Anyway, I'm sorry, we were digressing from your interview there.
It's my fault.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
It's all my fault.
So yeah, but you don't let that bother you though.
No, it doesn't. Right. It makes us want to do it more.
Because you're doing something right. If people are being nasty,
yes,
yes,
you're doing something right.
Yeah. And did it ever bother you?
Nope.
Even in the beginning, you weren't like, "What are these people saying? Why are they saying this to us?" No. How about you, Darin?
No, not really. It was, we kind of
saying it didn't bother you.
Actually, yeah, kind of.
Your nose is gonna knock this thing out. There was some tough moments at different points.
There was.
But again, there, as we all know, there are the people who are on a certain level that people don't like to hear any foibles about.
Right.
And we're not looking to dig dirt on anybody. And some people don't like to hear anything positive about people they don't like.
Yeah.
Right. And so if you start talking about that, then you're either a Confederate sympathizer or you're a lost causer or a just cause or whatever you want to call it. That's what heard all kinds of things. But no, it doesn't bother you. It's kind of funny because
it is funny.
Because I'm sure when they hit you with stuff, 9 times out of 10 they're historically wrong.
Well, they're wrong on so many levels. Like history, they're wrong on just like they're not even understanding what you're really saying, and it shows you more about what their mental disorder is than it does about what you've done. Because you haven't done anything wrong. It just that they're like crazy, and it goes into their filter, and it comes out with anger, or they come out angry because they don't understand what you're saying. And I actually find them entertaining. They did bother me at first, but then my friend was like, "No, that means people are noticing you. Like it's not just your friends listening; it's total strangers, and you're going to piss people off." And I was like, "Yeah, all right." And then I started getting the hang of it and enjoying it. It's fun. I don't get a lot of them though. What?
It's the Howard Stern thing.
What is?
If they hate him, why do they listen?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't think it's that. I don't think they're doing that with us. Yeah, but yeah.
No, because you don't want to have to.
People just hate us.
You don't want to actually anybody, but at the same point, you don't want to sit there and say, "Actually, you're wrong."
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, okay, you can tell who reads the headlines and who and who doesn't, and these are the people who don't read the headlines; they just read the comments.
Right. Well,
that's who they are.
And yeah, exactly. And I don't even actually them. I just usually like LOL, or I'll come back with something like, "Can you send me a link to your show so I can hear how to do it right?" or something like that. And I never get a response, Well, because like one of them was was the 157th anniversary. I think it was the July 1st episode of the anniversary of the battle and all that stuff, And it was like, I don't know, what do we have? Like 4 or 5 of us
for July 1st. There was just.
This was 2 years ago.
There were 3 guides.
It was 3 guides.
But that included Bob because he was still
the co-host.
Co-hosting then.
So it was Bob.
Jim Pangburn,
right,
and
Charlie.
Yeah.
And wasn't Jesse there as well?
Who?
Not
for July 1st.
Oh, okay.
And so there's like 4 or 5 of us on the show and everything like that. And somebody's like, "This show sucks. The kid is too many people." But like other people were saying, they like that. Were you saying that, Joe? Who was saying that before? Joe, you were saying that before. Yeah, you like that. Why? Because it's.
You get some variety,
different
opinions, different perspectives based on kind of what they've studied.
They challenge each other, things like that. Yeah. But anyway, my point is, it doesn't bother me because so that guy doesn't get it. Okay, fine. Who cares?
Yeah, move
There's
on.
20 million other people that do.
Yeah, move on.
Not really.
Maybe.
Not really that many, but
there are tens of others.
There's dozens of others who do get it.
There's a phone booth full.
All right, we're gonna take a break. We'll come back more with Darin and Mare. You just join in. It's like free form after that, and we'll see what's going on with everything in the world there. Okay, ladies. Oh wait, yeah, Ronnie's news is coming up next, so we'll be right back.
Have something to add to the conversation? Give us a call at 717-420-1978 and get in the queue.
Hey folks, one of the most popular episodes on our Patreon feed isn't even about the Battle of Gettysburg. No, it's actually about the Battle of the Little Bighorn. The Battle of the Little Bighorn rivals Gettysburg as the most written about and debated battle in American history. If you ever wanted a chance to visit or revisit this iconic battlefield in southeastern Montana, then now is your chance. Join historian and friend of the show, James Hessler, on his annual Little Bighorn tour. This year's travel dates are August 31st through September 5th of 2022. You will follow Custer's route to the battlefield, see where the fight opened in the Little Bighorn Valley, and visit key battlefield landmarks such as Reno Hill, Weir Point, and Last Stand Hill. While touring the field, you will debate all the many controversies that continue to surround Custer and this battle. This is a great opportunity to see one of the most pristine and historic battlefields in the country. Those dates again are August 31st through September 5th, 2022. And for more details, email Jim at custer7@comcast.net. That's Custer, the numeral 7, at comcast.net. Put Little Bighorn 2022-addressing Gettysburg in the subject line. But don't delay. This trip will book up very soon.
Our favorite bookstore in Gettysburg is For the Historian, located at 42 York Street. Isn't it, Eric?
You're darn tootin', Matt.
It's because they have the best selection of Civil War books in Gettysburg, both new and used, and online they have even more books to choose from.
But Matthew, what if the Civil War is simply not my thing?
Not a problem, my fine four-fendered friend. This is For the Historian, after all. They cover history from the ancient world to the 21st century with a strong selection of World War II and American Revolution books.
It's astounding how they squeeze thousands of titles from Osprey, Savas Beatty, UNC Press, and more into their store.
And it's also astounding how you and I both squeeze into our pants every day. Well, handsome, they have a warehouse too, and that's where they keep all those books that are available online at forthehistorian.com. And folks, if you go to forthehistorian.com now and order books until you're blue in the face, be sure you mention that you heard about them on Addressing Gettysburg in the Note to Seller box, and they will refund your shipping costs.
What if I prefer to browse in the store and don't want to go online to get my book?
Great question, Doodlebug. Just mention Addressing Gettysburg at checkout, and they'll take 20% off the retail price of your item. So go to forthehistorian.com, stop by 42 York Street, or call 717-685-5207. That's forthehistorian.com or 717-685-5207. Gettysburg: A Nation Divided is an award-winning mixed reality mobile application using augmented reality technology. It transports users into the most crucial moments in the Battle of Gettysburg, the turning point of the Civil War. Users can listen and watch historic figures share their stories as lifelike animated avatars, traverse 360-degree image sequences of the battlefield. Its cinematic battle sequences are narrated by actor Scott Eastwood. The mobile app is available for free on iOS and Android. It's designed to be used anywhere, at home, at school, at the park, or at Gettysburg National Military Park. It uses GPS to help guide you through your journey to see the stories and events unfold at the exact location where they occurred. So go into your phone's app store and get it now for free. That's Gettysburg: A Nation Divided.
You've heard us promote various ways that you can help us keep the show going, but one way we haven't pushed too much is our sutlery at addressinggettysburg.com/shop. That's a shame because we have designs over there by talented artists like Ty DeWitt of 1863 Designs and Mike Stretch of the Heritage Depot. So now we're promoting it. Buying shirts, hoodies, mugs, and other items from our sutlery not only helps us keep the lights on, but it also helps guys like Ty and Mike, and it helps spread the word about the show every time you wear an item or you sip from your mug. So head over to addressinggettysburg.com/shop and grab some merch. It's the perfect Christmas gift for the Gettys nerd in your family. That's addressinggettysburg.com/shop.
What do Getty's Bike Tours customers say?
Very family friendly. We had a wonderful time with our son.
Me and my friends were able to rent these bikes and go at our own pace, so we were able to just do what we wanted to do when we wanted to do it, and I highly recommend it to anybody else.
It seemed like the right way to go to view the wonderful sights and also get an incredible amount of history from Bob.
Our tour guide Bruce was so knowledgeable about the facts and the history of these battlefields that I came away with an understanding that was unmatched by any other means.
The breeze on the battlefield made up for the hot day.
I had a wonderful time, great trip, lots of history, wonderful bike ride, perfect weather. Could have asked for a nicer day. Highly recommended.
If you're going to tour Gettysburg, I would recommend doing it on the bike. It's a lot of fun.
I loved it. It was awesome.
We really couldn't stump the professor with any of our questions, so we thought it was really well worth it.
It was an excellent day out and got you outside and experienced the weather. Beautiful weather out here today.
We had a lot of fun. If you're thinking about it, I'd just say give it a shot. It was awesome for us. I hope it's awesome for you guys too.
Go to gettysbike.com or call 717-752-7752 to book a battlefield experience you will never forget.
From the patriots of Bunker Hill to those who embarked upon the Great Crusade at Normandy. From the blue-clad Federals at Gettysburg who gave the last full measure of devotion to the many thousands who did the same at places like Belleau Wood, Chosin, Yadrong, and Fallujah. The American warrior is the greatest warrior the world has ever known, who, through sacrifice and dedication to the nation they served, have composed a history worthy of being remembered. Join me, Colby Sumner, to hear their story and to connect our current and future American warriors to those of our past on America, Fog of War.
You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg.
You're back with Cam's Idol.
That was years ago.
Here's Matt.
All right, we're back. And there's a couple of things. First of all, we've got our tour tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, 10 o'clock. Tour starts. Get there before 10 o'clock. Park where freaking legal. Please, park where legal. I can't...
Where?
Anywhere.
No, but where's the tour?
Everywhere. Just show up on the battlefield and find us.
We're meeting at the West End Guide Station.
Thank you, Eric.
We're meeting We're meeting at the West End Guide Station, so park around there on Reynolds Avenue, but make sure it is a parking space. And if all the parking spaces are taken up, park a little further away. Get a little exercise there. Weather's supposed to be nice tomorrow.
Right. So is it? I think storms off and on, or no?
I don't know, but
Okay.
we're going to have clear skies.
Wasn't sure I was
We
allowed
will
to
have
say
clear
that.
skies. Everybody else will have rain. Yeah.
So because that's a one-way road, you're allowed to park as long as you keep all four wheels on the road on the right-hand side of the road.
On the
correct?
right-hand side,
Right.
yes,
Correct.
that's right. And so if you're from England, it's the other side. Because they don't. Their right is our left over there. Isn't that how that works?
Do Canadians do that too?
Do you guys drive on the normal side?
Yeah, we're normal.
This side of the pond. Yeah. What is the biggest difference between the Canada and the United States in your mind when you come here? What's the biggest glaring difference?
A.
I don't know. It's very similar, I think.
Okay.
I got you a ZZ the other day.
A what?
ZZ.
What the hell's that?
Yeah.
When I was like, I was saying my license plate.
Oh, that alphabet. Okay.
Yeah, the alphabet.
Yeah, they instead of Z, they say Z.
Yeah.
Oh, what is that from?
It's Old English.
Of course.
I was like, what is that?
It's always the Old
He still
English.
said, "What is that?" He just said, "Still, what is that?" What are you talking about?
I'm still not sure. I just nodded and smile at this point. It avoids a confrontation.
Learning quickly.
I do get a lot of questions about why I started the Civil War, and I'm just like, because it's interesting, and
Right.
I don't find that. I mean, I'm sure the history of my own country is quite interesting, but I just choose not to study it.
Well, I know a lot of people that are, or I've met a lot of people that are from England or Ireland or other countries or Canada, and they find the Civil War so fascinating, and I'm like, why? It has nothing to do with you. But they're like, well, one person from England said to me, and this was like 2-3 years ago. I asked that question. She goes, well, because from the way it looks in England, you're heading for another one, and it scares the shit out of us because if you fall, we fall. And I was like, well, I agree, we are, but that's weird that you would pick up on that, but I guess they do. Is that the sentiment in Canada?
In Canada.
In Canada?
It's this country fighting against itself.
Yeah.
Like, you guys, like, America is a country born out of a revolution, and we are a country because a queen signed a paper and said we could be a country.
So you're not really a country, is what you're saying. I get it. Yeah.
It's different. It's a different foundation, and part of the reason we became Canada in 1867 is because of the Civil War, because we were, on the chopping block kind of thing to become another state. That's what was happening.
And neither one of us wanted that.
No.
We didn't want you. You didn't want to be part of us. Yeah.
But it's fascinating.
Because imagine if you guys had become another, part of the United States, how much colder it would be down here.
Exactly.
What the hell are you doing? What's with
No,
too far.
What is happening?
Up or down?
What is Veronica's messing with the lights all of a sudden.
Good.
So you having a seizure? What's going on?
Justin Trudeau shuts the lights off.
Yeah. Okay, you can't talk about my country in a bad way. I can't do a Canadian accent.
That was nowhere close. It's like a Simpsons character.
It's like a weird Minnesotan.
It's just a conglomeration of a whole bunch of different things. Okay, so another thing. So, Bill, before the break, you had talked about something, and I said to remind me about that. And what was it?
Oh, my God, I love Bill. That's
on Facebook.
You were crucified on Facebook.
Because I posted a link to an article where they're thinking about renaming Fort A.P. Hill for Dr. Mary Walker.
Yes, by the way, yes.
And
I'm so excited about it. I hope that's real. I'm not kidding. I hope that's real.
I think it is
stupefied with what a gentleman probably below the Mason-Dixon had to say, not only about me, but about America in general. And I don't get it.
Honestly, that guy could live in New Hampshire, to be honest.
As a Mass resident, I'm going to agree with you on that.
I don't want to project.
Well, wait a minute. Didn't he start off his rants, his 30 rants, as I'm tired of the government trying to tell the South how to live, us Southerners, you can't tell us how to live, you're still telling us how to live, and there were some choice words in that.
He's still not over that?
Apparently.
I did
Doesn't
remind
seem
him that
so.
he's fighting a war that was over 150.
Okay, good.
He didn't respond to my thing, but here's my point about
What
it.
was your wait? What was your thing?
Well, here's my point.
Okay.
This guy is so upset to take the name of A.P. Hill off of a United States military installation, right?
Which shouldn't have been named after him in the first place.
First. But
same with Pickett, same with Bragg.
This guy went on this tangent about how horrible this country is and all this other stuff. So obviously you're not happy with the country. So why would you want one of your heroes to be affiliated with something that you're not happy with, first off? And why, on top of it, would the military want to honor someone who literally fought to get away from this country?
I agree.
Honestly,
I agree.
If that's your hero, you should be like, hell yeah, take my hero's name off that shit. I don't want to be associated with
So
it, right?
I can't speak to A.P. Hill specifically, but I know Fort Benning, the reason that the Army was allowed to buy that property, they had to agree to name it after Henry L. Benning, who was from Columbus, Georgia, where the main gate of Fort Benning is located. I don't know if it's the same way for A.P. Hill. I kind of suspect it was, because if you look at all the Army installations that are named after Confederates, they're all in the old Confederacy.
Right.
All of them.
Well, yeah. It was probably some kind of reconciliation thing.
You guys want to know what his actual comments were?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't see this, so I'm only hearing about it now.
I'm going to read them in my...
in your yokel voice?
In my BDSM voice.
Jesus.
Yeah, watch your back there. It'll be my worst Friday. All right, here we go.
The Regal Beagle. I just noticed your shirt. All right, go ahead, Eric. Go ahead.
Hey, hang on. These all have exclamation points. I got to back up. F America turning its back on the South again! If people had a brain in their head... The wrong there, by the way. It's like the place, not the possessive. They would be renaming all union-associated facilities. But union the lowercase union.
Yeah.
So drywallers and electricians and whatnot.
Engineers. I just want to put a plug out.
But people think Lincoln is a hero, and the Union Army is no different than the left Democrats and liberals today. You can lie yourself all you like. No exclamation point or any sort of.
You can live what yourself?
I'll read it in a normal people voice. You can lie yourself all you like. I'm assuming he meant two, but
Like to yourself, yeah.
his thumbs were so like enraged.
Yes, because he was good. Yeah. Like you can lie yourself all you like. Yeah. Okay, I got you.
He did leave one other interesting comment. I'd have to censor it for too much.
Go ahead, censor. Just use the F. F says S or whatever. Talk like him.
S the F up, you dumb A grammar S. That's all you have in life. What another dumb S.
I believe that was in response to me pointing out.
It was a good one.
I said, yeah, an F capitalization grammar. And I am not the grammar police by any stretch.
No.
However, if we're gonna fight,
but you could,
I cannot fight a battle of wits with an unarmed man.
I forgot he left one other gem in there, and this one's I'm gonna have to take a really deep breath because he really didn't use any punctuation. So, and away we go. You can't be a traitor in a free country, and when your country doesn't do what in the best interest of its people, when you should be able to shake off the bonds of a government that doesn't have your best interest in mind.
What?
People are really too stupid to be allowed to vote or do anything that is important. They are just too stupid. Fuck, I'm gonna pass out, man. Sorry, guys.
It's getting to be goddamn ridiculous.
The General Yamamoto, or I'm sorry, Admiral Yamamoto Air Base in Hawaii will be open. Because it follows the same.
It does. It does. You're right. That's a great point.
He didn't.
Yeah.
There was no response.
Memorializing our enemies.
Any unfriended.
Only in America, really, could you do that.
The Reinhard
right?
Heydrich Memorial Airfield.
Jesus Christ.
You shouldn't get Facebook jailed over it.
True.
You got put in Facebook jail?
No, I did not.
Oh.
I know a good defense lawyer.
She's not good enough to get against Facebook. Okay, no. Facebook runs its own rules.
I do
lives whatever.
I consider myself left, right. I'm pretty center politically. I was just pointing out that hey, something about the Civil War that we all enjoy is in the topical news.
Yeah.
Or maybe just have the common decency to use punctuation. So when I have to scream your comments out,
I agree.
I don't die.
That was a great job, Eric, though. Great job with that.
Well, thank you.
That's exactly how I read it, too.
It's going to be tough to type with that hockey mask on, though.
Oh, my.
Oh, it was Mike. Mike, oh my God, that was his fake account.
This is his burner.
Oh, that's great.
Burner account.
Oh, guys, we have a first on the show.
What's that?
We're being spammed in the comments section.
Oh, right. Hey. Yeah.
Naked-hd.xyz. Enough watch stream. Girls here. Kissy face, check mark.
Wow.
That's because you guys are talking about the leather demo.
Oh, that's fair.
Like triggered.
You're probably right. You're probably right.
I thought it was my fault. Good?
All right. Everybody calm down.
Sorry.
We have another caller on now. Let's see who this is. It's not Cam, I promise. Is this Kristen? Kristen, are you there? She's been on hold a long time. 19 minutes. Ooh. She probably went away to do the dishes or something like that. Actually, she's in Tacoma, Washington, so I would imagine it's not.
Phone on the charger.
Probably put her. Yeah,
probably saw the spam advertisement. She's calling in for that.
Oh, maybe she's looking. Yeah. Kristen, are you there, Kristen? Kristen, hello. I'll put you back in the queue, and I'll come back in a couple of minutes. Okay, Kristen. All right, great. All right, so. So let me see. I just want to make sure that I got everything on my list here. Yeah. Okay. Good. Tour. Yeah. So yeah, I was joking though. Oh, real quick, Bill and Cindy, since we're talking to you guys are on the itty bitty big party committee, and
it was the committee of the conduct of the live show.
we have so many names, and none of them are really good.
The first 12 minutes of the whole meeting.
Yeah. Whatever. I don't know. I just show up for 5 minutes and say something and then go. But so we've got things underway for August 20th. We don't have our guest nailed down yet, but Eric said it's a probable maybe.
It's a definite maybe.
It's a definite maybe.
Yeah, solid maybe.
And it's a definite maybe Eisenhower. That's true.
Yeah.
And so once we get a definite answer, hopefully in the positive or in the affirmative, then we will announce who it is. Right.
We do have.
But we will have Porta Johns, Bill. Okay, we will have. Yeah. We're gonna have Porta Johns for everybody. And go ahead. What were you saying?
No, it's about where we're at.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, if you're local, if you're a local business and you're watching, this is gonna be a big deal. Okay.
Huge.
It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be bigly. It's gonna be great. And it's going to be the best event you've ever. I can't do it, Trump. Anyway, so you contact us about advertising because we're going to have many sponsors there. Many sponsors there. You know, it's going to be the best sponsors ever. What, Eric? What is it?
Tim M. I was in line at Chick-fil-A drive-thru while Eric was screaming. The kid was just staring at me. Mike, you want to take care of that?
Oh, yeah, right.
Thanks, buddy.
Call corporate and fix that.
That's funny. Yeah. So everything's going okay with that. We just.
If it's half as good as the one in February, we're good to go.
Well, it better be twice as good because we'll have twice the audience. So. You know.
Oh, yes.
And we've got like 8 times the people working on it.
Yeah, it better be really freaking good. And it really all hinges on you guys. Not me and Eric this time, you guys.
As long as I don't have to do anything on Facebook, I think I'm all right.
Oh, all right.
Good.
Yeah, we'll probably be fine then.
Yeah, I think we'll be all right. All right, well, good. So we've got all that out of the way. I think that's it. And now, it's the moment you've all been waiting for.
You doing news or events first?
What's going on? So take notes. There's a test at the end. Here's AG Today's lead anchor, Veronica Brestensky, with news, traffic, weather, sidewalk conditions, and what's happening this weekend.
I must have all possible information.
Oh my gosh. Can I just say it makes
what
me...
do I
do? It makes me so happy that we got Tim saying
that. Bullshit.
And there's 2 versions of it.
Bullshit.
Oh, yeah, they are slightly
Bullshit.
different.
Yeah. But anyway, Ronnie, you got the news. It's your turn.
So
You've
actually,
got the
I lied
floor.
to you because initially I said there was no news, but there actually is.
Okay.
So the National Park Service announced that the Little Round Top project has officially been pushed back. They were anticipating a June start. Now they're saying no sooner than July 5th. So the anniversary weekend should be open for the tourists to still enjoy Little Round Top before the 18-month approximate closure.
If I may, posted back on March 10th. This project is estimated to begin no sooner than July 5th. It'll take approximately 18 months to complete. So I just wanted to say, they knew that on March 10th, apparently.
But then remember, they made another announcement saying, hey, we're going to give you 30 days notice, and we're thinking it's going to be somewhere between June 3rd and June 30th.
I'm being a brat.
Yeah.
Okay. They're just changing. It's from the they're editing the one post from March, making it look like we knew all along.
I missed that.
See what I'm saying?
I see. Yeah.
They just go in and
it
they
was
edit
probably because like those get shared so many times, and I see so many people who are like stumbling across a post from last year.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, oh man, when is this happening? Yo, man, you missed the bus. That was last August.
So our buddy Ken Rich actually sent me a message to help out with the news. News to me, but thanks, Ken. They are putting the guns back at the Kinsey and Ruggs batteries.
Oh.
The markers on Hunt Avenue. That's why the digging machine is sitting there, in case anybody is
Okay, good to know. I was wondering why the digging machine was on Hunt Avenue.
Yep.
You know?
Thank you.
There's a lot of horse poop I've been noticing out on the battlefield.
Yeah.
I've seen a few horseback riders. Sticklers for the rules, listen up. A lot of people riding horseback on Hancock Avenue, and they're not allowed to leave the trails. So, I don't know. You want to go enforcing rules, you want to pay attention to all the poop all over the place. But yes, go
I saw
ahead.
a bike rider going the wrong way on Confederate Avenue the other day.
That is okay.
Not
it wasn't me.
Not a tour. I'm just saying it was just a random general individual.
Oh well, the people do that all the time.
I know,
yeah.
but that's not supposed to be.
It's not supposed to be. No, they should be shot on site, right?
Right, something like
right.
that.
Yeah.
So the only other real news is just a big shout out to all the graduates, right? High school,
That's right.
colleges, everything's it's graduation season. So congratulations, graduates.
I got to say, I was at that ceremony last night, and I was quite impressed with the kids that gave the speeches, the valedictorian, et cetera, all those nerds. And they were very well-written speeches. I don't know who wrote them for them, but they delivered them very well. Like these kids were orators for 30 years. I mean, really, I was very impressed by that. What I'm not impressed with is what people name their children. Come on, could we stop with the goofy names? They're not pretty. They're just goofy. Thank you. And I'm not talking about ethnic names. I'm talking about normal people just with stupid names.
Go ahead.
Like Floralina. Like you're just making up words.
Like
Matt.
Yes.
Or Matthew.
Laura. Oh, Matthew.
You know what I'm saying?
Matthew, yeah.
Well,
do you have a middle name, Ronnie?
No. Yes, I do.
You do. What's your middle name?
It's my grandmother's first name, so
Okay.
I'll put that out there
Okay,
first.
thank you.
Irene.
It's fine. How about you, Mare? Do you have a middle name?
Violet.
Violet. Normal. Okay.
John.
Most normal. Thomas. Bill. Okay. Yeah.
Lynn.
Lynn. Okay. And your name, Cindy, is not Cynthia. It's just Cindy. Okay. Joe. Richard. Normal. Jason.
Michael Jason.
What is yours? Is it Michael Jason Lentz?
It's Mishael.
Misha. So Michael Lentz.
Pretty much.
And it's Russian?
No, it's Americanized Hebrew.
Americanized Hebrew. Mishael is Americanized Hebrew. What is the Hebrew?
It's a variant of Meshach.
Meshach. Okay, Meshach. There was somebody famous with that name.
Meshach and Abednego.
Sorry, I can't hear you through your mask.
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, the guys that got shoved into the furnace and didn't die. There you go.
Yeah, never heard of him. But
okay, all right.
That's not what I'm thinking. But yeah, it's.
Shayak, my bell. Is that what
These always that go together well. Michelle.
This is a new one.
Don't fall down, don't fall down, don't fall down. Hey, let's see. Should we try with Kristen again one more time here? Let's see if she's there. Kristen, are you there now?
It's not Kristen, it's Chris, and I spell it with a Y.
Okay, so Chris with a Y. Let me tell you what the auto screen talk to text says here. Ready? This is Kristen, Tacoma, Washington, to ask why anyone receive horrifying Andy's bird in case there was a retreat through the town, if it was feasible, and if so, who's to blame for not doing it? Thank you.
Clearly, talk to text didn't get it right.
So at least I got Chris right. Are you actually in Tacoma, Washington?
Yeah, I live in the country outside it.
All right. Okay, there you go. So you have a question. What was it, for Darin and Mare?
Yeah, my question is about the 11th Corps' retreat back through the town of Gettysburg. Should it have been expected or feasible to prepare street barricades for that? And if so, is there somebody to blame if it wasn't done?
Well, all I'll say is that at that very moment when Howard was in charge, Reynolds was going to be killed. So he's going to have to fall back to run the army, and Carl Schurz is going to take over. He's up on the front, so his last thing he's thinking is building barricades. And you hear a lot of that. You hear people hit them a lot for that. But I think in the heat of the battle, literally with the smoke of battle going on, it's tough to really think about that. We've had 150 plus years to look back and study this under a microscope. So people wonder why they didn't have the street cop tell them where to go. But I think the reality is they were more concerned with trying to get back any way they could. They just got there. It wasn't like they knew really where they were going. So I think it's more of a situation of in the heat of the battle. I don't think there's anybody specifically to blame.
And they also didn't plan to fall back to Cemetery Hill. I mean, they did leave someone there in case you had to, but it wasn't like, all right, we're going to go out there and just, when we lose too many guys, then we'll just run back to the hill here. So it wasn't like a plan that they had.
Well,
they did barricade during their retreat.
They didn't expect Jubal Earl to come. That was part of the deal.
Yeah.
And so every plan sounds great until it falls out the window, and then they started their big mass run. But I think it's tough to blame Howard or Schurz for that because because I think that's a good 20/20 hindsight situation.
Absolutely. How was that, Kristen, with a Y?
I thank you. I appreciate that. I'm a big fan. Keep up good work on the channel.
All right. Thank you very much. You have a good day, sir.
You.
All right. Did you say F you? All right. All right. Go ahead, Ronnie. What else you got in the news?
News-wise, that's it. So hit the events.
Oh, thank you. Well, you caught me off guard here. I usually get a nap in and...
Oh, no, that's normally during the event. So you're fine. You're covered.
Wait, now I can't find it. I miss my old...
Can't get good health these days.
No, I miss my... I hate doing that off the board. That's why I miss the old board. Anyway, go ahead. Just give me the news or
actually,
events.
we have a ton of stuff just this weekend and in the next couple weekends to go over real quick. So obviously it's a holiday weekend, but starting tomorrow, the very first...
Live this weekend where the action is. What's there to do and see when you're in town this weekend? Here's Valerie, Veronica to fill you in.
It's all covered.
The hatred on your face is palpable.
You should see it on my face.
Well, it's always on your face. I've never seen joy on your face. Go ahead, Ronnie.
Okay, so obviously the big deal is tomorrow's Get Out of the Car tour, right? We already went
Biggest
over that.
deal
but
in
biggest
actually
deal,
the history of Gettysburg. Yeah.
biggest deal for tomorrow. So 10 o'clock start, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, right at the West End Guide Station. So
That's
be there
right.
or be square.
And what are we doing?
Palin's Brigade.
Palin's Brigade, exactly. Abno Palin.
I don't know why we're saying it.
I don't know why you're doing that.
Because you obviously didn't listen to the episode that I did with Lewis about this episode.
I'll be honest with you. I don't listen to any of the episodes.
Well,
I like to get my information on the tour. Why?
How can we improve if I'm the only one that listens back? And it's torturous to listen back, but I do it. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so that goes till when? Noon?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Noon. No later than noon.
All kinds of other stuff for our...
And it's free, ladies and gentlemen.
That's nice.
FREE. Tilde.
So after, either before or after, if you're interested in the farmer's market, that's something I would always encourage people to check out.
Oh, and also if you're looking for furniture that entitled college kids just discard, and go ahead. You got that? Okay, I'm going to let you go.
So this is the 17th annual Give It Up for Good sale that's benefiting the United Way, right on the Gettysburg campus from 7 to noon. They actually, the United Way, if you go on their Facebook page, they did a video real quick this week showing all kinds of stuff. And I never knew what all is in. I mean, there's bikes, books, clothing, shoes, air conditioners, refrigerators, bookcases, wardrobes, TVs,
BDSM wear.
There's literally there's mattresses. There's everything. So if you guys
mattresses.
I'm assuming they're new. Like would be my
Well,
assumption.
they were new in September. Yeah.
I get it, but anyway.
But the thing is, though, you got to get there like right when it opens because they scavenge beforehand.
Well, here's the catch.
The people that work it, yeah.
The early bird is $5 at 7 o'clock to get in. Right? If you want to get in at 7 o'clock, $5. At 8 o'clock, it becomes free, but presumably everything's
so they make you pay to get in early.
Right, but it's for a good cause.
Sure.
Right? So I would, if you're getting up that early anyway, pay the extra $5, support the United Way, get some little goodies and best pick of all the different electronics and computers, and there were mouses. Right. Mice.
Cool.
Meese.
Yeah. So
it's meese.
So that's something to check out tomorrow morning, in addition to the farmers market. Thank you very much. And then afterwards, after our tour, it is free family day at the Spangler Farm. So that's from 10 to 3. So once you come to our tour, you can hang out maybe at the Farnsworth House, I'm assuming is going to be the game plan afterwards.
It's sponsored by the Farnsworth House again. So, yeah, we're going there for lunch after. Yep.
And then you have until 3 o'clock to get over to the Spangler Farm to check that out for free. So that's all.
And I recommend you do. The Spangler Farm is pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then at 4 o'clock, I think this is super cool. And I know this is one in a series over the summer that the Park Service is going to do. But at 4 o'clock tomorrow, there is going to be a tour by the Rangers for the National Park Service in conjunction with the Eisenhower National Historic Site, where they are going to touch base and highlight the Vietnam veterans that are buried in the cemetery. So pretty cool. And then later in the summer, they're going to do World War I veterans and things like that. Just outside of the Civil War.
You know what I noticed? My friend Mike pointed this out to me. We were walking through the cemetery the other day, and he said, "Okay," he's like, "I noticed this thing," and he's like, "Have you ever heard anybody point this out before?" And I said, "Okay, go ahead. What? Show me." So we go over, to not the Civil War section, obviously, of the cemetery, and he goes, "Okay, look at this grave. When did he die?" And it was December 7th, 1941. And then we go a few graves down, well, like 12 graves down. Look at this guy. When did he die? And same thing, December 7th, 1941. He goes, "Now, what does the plaque say in front of this tree? What type of tree is this?" And I go, "Japanese maple." And he's like, "Did they do that on purpose?"
Oh, wow.
And I was like, "I don't think they did that on purpose."
Yeah.
No.
One would hope not.
Yeah, I mean, if they did, that's pretty. But only Mike would pick that up.
Mike.
Buriski from Civil War teams.
Oh, I thought you meant Lentz. I was like,
No, not Mike. No.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of strange, but I'm like, well, it's a tree.
Would the trees have been there before?
No. These were planted in the 70s. Somebody told me, I think. Okay. So yeah, so they've been. This is post World War World War II. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. All right, go ahead.
Okay. So also another free event if you are interested in the ordnance and guns and things like that. From 2 o'clock to 6 p.m. at the visitor center, there's a free kind of like a show and tell demonstration and display that's going to be sponsored by the Ordnance Detachment of Civil War Dance Foundation.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Civil War dance?
Yeah. Remember, they have the
they
Civil
dancing
War
with
dance,
muskets?
No. So the Civil War Dance Foundation or whatever, they sponsor some events where they kind of highlight Civil era dances and things like that. This is a, I guess, offshoot of them, the Ordnance Detachment of that particular organization. So they're doing a free kind of like I said, show and tell up at the visitor center. So head on over to that if that's something that interests you, guns, ordnance, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and dance.
Every 19th century ball needed a firearms exhibition.
Well, it's dancing with the Corps.
Did you say Abe Lincoln?
Okay.
All right. So also, just a reminder, I don't think we talked about this last week, but there is a weekend full of authors that are going to be signing their books over at the Heritage Center. So everybody from Brad Godfrey, Lisa Samia, I don't even know all the names, but if you go on the Heritage Center's website from 10 to 4 tomorrow and 10 to 4 on Sunday, there's all kinds of different authors. If you're into that kind of stuff, go over and support the local authors. Something else to do, it's obviously free to do that, but obviously they're encouraging you to buy their books, so come prepared to spend some money. And then just a reminder, the David Wills House is open for free now, Saturday and Sunday, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. this weekend, and then the hours will lengthen starting in June. And also just a reminder to check out the Unforgettable Journey at the train station, the virtual experience from the foundation. That is not free. It's roughly $9.95.
Yeah.
But I've been hearing a lot of great feedback, and I want to get over there myself.
Yeah, I did too. We should go in maybe Sunday.
Oh, I might. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would go for that.
Let's do that.
Well, speaking of Sunday, we have another thing to put on our calendar.
Yes.
So the Children of Gettysburg 1863 Museum. Contrary to public opinion that it was in a display or a demo in the morning, it is actually 2 to 3:30. Our very own Eric Money, the producer.
Yes, Eric Money.
What? Is going to be doing a leather demonstration for the kids, and it's actually free to the public. So it's going to be in the little side yard over by the Rupp House from 2 p.m. to 3:30. So get on over there and support Eric.
That's right.
And learn something about Civil War.
I've always been amazed that my parents let me live to physical maturity.
That's still true. That's still absolutely true.
I probably would have drowned me in a bathtub.
Okay, well, Eric, we're trying to promote your thing here, and you're talking about your parents killing you. That's a little weird. All right.
That's fair. Yeah. Bring a strong stomach.
No, really, but what are you going to do? Have you figured? Because we were talking about this the other day, and I said, well, so what are you going to do? And Eric's like, I have no idea.
On Sunday to see.
You don't know yet, do you?
I know exactly what I'm doing.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you want to give the people a little taste?
No.
All right. Are you gonna show them how to make like a belt or?
No.
Like something basic or?
Hot things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, things.
It'll be interesting.
All right, that's it.
Maybe not.
Sorry,
what's wrong?
We're just so I skipped out of order because we're not done with tomorrow's event.
Oh.
I apologize.
Good heavens.
It was brought to my attention. I'm so sorry, guys, that I did not know this going into tomorrow.
You should apologize more.
I should, but then that also means we're gonna have to go back to Sunday's events and re-highlight yours. So
yeah,
careful.
Careful what you wish for, Eric.
Good.
But tomorrow evening, you guys are hosting an event, sponsoring an event.
We're doing just a meetup at Foursquare.
Cool.
Oh, you're doing another thing? Oh, I didn't know that. I thought you were done yesterday.
People want to come hang out at Foursquare tomorrow night.
Nobody wants to hang out with you at Foursquare. Nobody wants to do that. No.
The more you apologize, that just makes you more Canadian.
Sorry.
So just a meet and greet, just to hang out, nothing formal, just if you're around. Yeah. People like beer. They have beer there.
Yeah. And you guys are coming on the tour tomorrow too, right?
We are.
So you can get to see Darin and Mare there if you come, and it'll be like a quadruple whammy. Are you coming? See, You know, you,
the Polish lawyer in the corner.
You're like
I'm gonna try my best.
you're like that member of the band that just gets too big for the rest of the band,
No,
and you
that's
got a
not it at all.
solo career. It's like, oh, just working on my solo album. What is your
I'm
solo
very
album
hurt that
tomorrow?
You didn't ask me to talk about Parents Brigade because I'm obviously writing a book right currently about the brigade. So
That
fuck
would-
you. I don't care. I'm not gonna come listen to Lewis talk
Did you
about
just
the,
say have you? Oh my God, Ronnie!
I'm totally teasing. I'm gonna try to make it.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
All right.
Zabawa?
What else do you have, Ronnie?
Okay, so the big event this weekend outside of the tours and the meetup.
And the meetups and the leather.
Memorial Day, right?
Oh,
Memorial
yeah,
Day is
big
Monday,
deal, big
so
deal, yeah.
The parade kicks off at 2 o'clock, followed by the ceremony at the rostrum in the Soldiers National Cemetery at 3. So I'm eager to check out both of those events. I will point out, as a total aside, this is just now this is like the opinion corner, right?
Okay.
So you all know I'm involved with the Thaddeus Stevens Society, and I got a very irate email from Ross Hetrick.
Do you want me to yell it?
No. No, I mean, he was very distraught because he signed the organization up for the parade this year. He was really excited about our participation in that, just to shed some more light on Thaddeus Stevens. There's going to be some people from the society standing by the new monument. It's going to be on the parade
statue,
route, just to draw some attention to him and everything. But he got the lineup earlier this week, and so keep in mind, this is the Memorial Day parade, right? And you guys, you history guys, can correct me if I'm wrong about this, but the Memorial Day concept is to honor people of this country that gave their lives supporting this country, i.e. the United States, right?
True.
So, ironically enough, and Thaddeus Stevens was an abolitionist, and he was, very anti-Southern in terms of the Confederacy, all this other stuff. So where did the parade people put us? But right in front of the Sons of Confederate Marylanders or something like that, right? This Confederate group. That was mildly what the email was, and I give Ross a lot of credit because he is a true believer.
Yeah,
and
he
he was
is.
indignant to the point that he's like, I don't want to draw attention away from our organization, so I'm not going to threaten to take ourselves out, but I'd really like to, maybe bounce some options off of how do we as an organization address this? Do we just ignore it and just
I got an idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so we might not have time to do this. So if this happens next year, you get a big banner, right? That you got people on each end that hold it up with a pole, okay? And it says, "The guys behind us suck."
Yeah.
And that's it. And those people walk at the end of your group.
Yeah. So
how many people are in the group?
I think we did settle on. I'm honestly, I'm not sure who's going to be. I think it's just carrying our banner.
Are you marching in the parade?
No, not.
Oh.
No. It's just.
She's standing by the statue, right?
I'll be somewhere in the audience. I think. Anyway, so Ross and another young lady from the organization are going to be carrying our normal banner that just explains who we are. And I think we did decide on just putting a little additional verbiage on that, something to the effect of, Thaddeus Stevens, fought to end the Confederacy and slavery, and just kind of leave it at that, and hopefully just highlight the difference, the stark contrast between who he was and his connections here to who's walking right behind us, and we'll see what happens. But on a personal note, I think that's the most
It is silly.
ridiculous thing. But I don't know. Apparently that's been going on for years, and I don't know whose idea that is to...
Yeah, it has been going on for years,
I
but
don't get it. I don't get it.
That doesn't mean it wasn't silly all along to have Confederates in a Memorial Day parade.
Right. And
Now someone might say, "Well, Decoration Day, didn't the Confederates do that before we had Memorial Day? Wasn't that a thing?" And they'll say, "Well, it has its roots in the the Confederacy is defunct."
Right.
And
Memorial Day was specifically made. If you go back and look at like the GAR letters and people like they were adamantly that these are Union dead at that point in time.
Right.
Anyway. What's particularly galling, just from my point of view, I kind of went back to try to do some research about how far back this has gone, and I didn't get very far. But the 2019 parade that's on YouTube has the same organization, and as they're coming up Baltimore, they're like proudly, "Who are we, Maryland?" And I'm like, okay,
they were here.
Those
it's supposed to be like a.
They're always in the Remembrance Day parade too, and they do the same thing.
Anyway, that's my
So
little.
lame.
That's my little.
It is.
I'm not sure how we're gonna. outwardly protest that. Mom and I on the sidewalk, we're
Moon
coming
them.
up with coming up with something just because whatever. Anyway, so that's the parade, right? So Tuesday, that's Memorial Day. Following the Memorial Day parade and the ceremony at the rostrum, I'm very excited about this personally. The return of the nightly tours given by the Licensed Battlefield Guide Association at the cemetery. They're going to kick off at 5:30, followed by again the opening ceremony for the 100 Nights of Tap ceremony. So that's at 7 o'clock. So all kinds of stuff appropriately going on for the Memorial Day holiday, in my opinion. And very quickly, just to wrap up, there are a lot of things coming up in the near future. The Tuesday night Licensed Battlefield Guide nightly walks are going to start on June 7th.
Mm-hmm.
Licensed Battlefield Guide Mike Rupert is going to start off the season with a discussion of Andrew Humphrey's division from July 2nd. And it's at 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock, $35. Go on to their website. You have to register in advance to do this anymore based on the new regulations. So GettysburgTourGuides.org is where you go ahead and get the whole list for the whole entire summer series. You can sign up, pay your money in advance, and enjoy those nightly Tuesday night tours. And then a real quick plug for two organizations that I find very fascinating. The historic Gettysburg, Adams County, part of their summer season is the Underground Railroad tour of the McAllister's Mill. That is ongoing now through August. Every Saturday at 11 a.m. for a $10 donation. You just meet. You don't have to register. You just meet at the old Mulligan McDuffer's putt-putt place there.
Yeah.
And you go. I know Deb Novotny gives tours. I know a couple other people with the organization give fantastic tours of that, of the remains of McAllister's Mill, their connection to the Underground Railroad, etc. And finally, one super big plug for the Civil War Roundtable here in Gettysburg. We do not meet in person for the summer in terms of like a regular meeting at the United Methodist Church. What we do is go out on the field and we take some walks. And I'm really excited about this lineup. So in June, we're going to have Dr. Jen Murray talk about Meade's leadership on July 2nd. In July, Jim Hessler is going to talk about Iverson's Brigade. And in August, Teresa Orr is going to talk about Benner's Hill. So
nice.
It's not very costly. Sign up for the Civil War Roundtable. Get your membership. You're entitled to go to those programs. They're not going to be live streamed. That's a perk for members only.
Okay, so you have to be a member.
You have to be a member for those. They're not going to be live streamed. But then come back in September. We will do our meetings, and I think Mary Turkmena is kicking off the fall in-person lecture series. And those will be live streamed. But
also. The Gettysburg Roundtable and our roundtable, the Cumberland Valley Civil War Roundtable, we're going to have a mud wrestling match in September for charity, right?
Actually, I think that Eric just did some, all joking aside, did some charity work on behalf of the roundtable.
That's right, you did, Eric.
Yeah.
Did you get any ticks?
No.
Good.
I don't really get ticks.
Yeah. Even the ticks don't like you.
They don't like. There's enough hate in my heart that they just leave me alone.
I'm like, this guy's sour.
Not him. Adrian,
yeah, we sponsor two separate fence lines. There's one right behind the Wadsworth Monument that runs parallel to the railroad, going towards Sheeds Woods. We have that one, and then on Buford Avenue, right next to the 3rd West Virginia. There's a long fence line that runs from Buford Ave all the way, basically, to the woods on Oak Ridge.
Yeah.
We have that one too. So that's what we did.
So is that like the adoptive position?
Yeah. So I was just going to ask that.
How does that work?
I don't really understand like what program that falls under. I don't think it's adopt a position.
But with adopt a position, you can adopt fence lines. So that's what's so confusing to me.
Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe
I don't know.
It's.
All I know is we went Tuesday night and spent like 3 hours.
Wow.
Taking out weeds.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, it's very nice. And then do you have to do that like what, every month or something, or just?
I don't know. We're supposed to do it again here in like the next 2 weeks or so. But if you watch our Facebook page, I'm going to put it up. They did say that anybody's allowed to come help.
Good. Okay.
So when I know when we're doing it again, I'll let everybody know.
All right. And then while we have you here, oh wait, was that it?
That's it.
Okay. While we have you here, let's get an update, Mike Lentz. Anything? No. Everything good. So how many days are we up to?
About 21.
21 days. That's great. That's what we like to hear. No, that's good. I'm glad to hear that you're not hurting yourself.
By the way, big shout out to Mare for Team Beaver here.
Yes.
I'm super excited about this. This is gonna go in my purse. I don't know if you can see this with my big fat fingers.
You should throw it in the water where the beavers are.
Skip it across the beaver pond.
No, this one's staying close.
So explain what it is because people can't all see it because there's audio too.
Actually, you should. It's a Canadian coin.
Yeah, explain it, Mare.
Yeah, it's a nickel, and it's got a beaver on one side and the queen on the other.
Queen?
Yeah.
Queen beaver.
Oh, God. Queen beaver.
They call it the Queen's Beaver. Hey, hand me one of those Queen. Hand me a Queen's Beaver, eh? Sorry, I don't have any.
I thought it was cool.
All right. Well, look, you know what? It is cool. It is cool, and that's a very nice gift of you, Mare, to bring. We're gonna go in a minute here. Darin, Mare, thank you very much. You guys want to join us for dinner? What do you have? Do you have plans?
Well, we're gonna head over to Blue and Gray. So whatever you guys.
Oh, you got like a meetup or something? You meeting people?
No, that's
Do you have to go to the Blue and Gray? Can you just come with us? Okay, thank you. That's all I'm asking. I'm inviting you to dinner.
I'm not allowed
You know what?
to make
I rescind
plans,
the
so-
invitation.
We're going to the Blue and Gray. We're inviting ourselves to their
There
party.
you go.
That's the
Okay.
way I read it.
That's good. That's what we'll do then.
No, absolutely.
That's what we'll do. All right. Well, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for coming in here and everything that you do. Joe, thank you for getting the computer going. Darin and Mare, thank you. Civil War Breakfast Club, check them out. We'll talk to you later.
Addressing Gettysburg Today is hosted by Matt Callery and Veronica Brestensky, Esquire. Produced by Eric, the producer, Moni. Applause led by Owen the Clabber. Guests of Addressing Gettysburg Today stay wherever they want. That's not our concern. To be a guest on the show, send an email to eric@addressinggettysburg.com. Addressing Gettysburg broadcasts from the Gettys Bike Tour Studios. Get a 15% discount on your next tour with Gettys Bike. I'm Huevos Grande, the voice of Addressing Gettysburg Today. Thanks for listening.
I've never heard of that. Joyful tears. Outer Hardly could they be restrained from breaking forth in cheers while we are marching through Georgia. A unicorn? Hurrah, hurrah, we bring the jubilee. Hurrah, hurrah, the flag that makes you free. So we sang the chorus from Atlanta to the sea while we were marching through Georgia. While we were marching through Georgia. Hey,
I can't do my work. If it looks like a duck, walks like a